What's going on, guys? So a while back I showed you all a tongue jack from the folks over at Etrailer. This is actually their Etrailer tongue jack. This thing is rated at 5,000 pounds. A lot of these things are only rated at like 2,000 pounds. Has a nice LED on it, has really nice rubberized coated little caps over the buttons. If you're hearing that creepy noise, that's a windmill right there, making all sorts of creepy noises. But the tongue jack that I have on my little Cargo Mate trailer, which is this little 3,500 pound capacity electric tongue jack from Ram, I suppose, is actually a total piece of trash. I mean, this thing is terribly bad. It is, I don't even know how to explain it. Whenever I'm lifting it, the thing wants to do this number the whole time, like every couple little turns. You see how the top of the housing is kind of loose. Just not a fan of this thing, so we're going to rip and replace this today. And this video is just to show you how simple this process is. All you really have to do is hitch it up to your vehicle to get the tongue jack off the ground. Take those 3 bolts out right there, cut the wires, put the new wires on, and you're pretty much done. So let's do this in real time to give you kind of an idea of what that process looks like. Okay, so again, I'm going to try to accomplish this whole thing in real time. I have a couple splices. I have some really crazy electrical tape. I have a little torch to heat seal the heat shrink the splices. I have a little cutting tool to cut the power and ground wire off. And then I have a 9/16 inch socket or impact socket that is in my drill to remove the old jack. So first thing I'm going to do is loosen up the old jack, and that just involves this. Now I'm going to cut the wires, and right when I cut the wire, I'm going to go ahead and put the splice in place so I don't short out on anything. So this wire right here is hot. On this specific trailer, it's always hot. And we're just going to put this splice on right here. Okay, so now I know I'm not going to cause any short. Next, we're going to cut this one off right here. This is our ground. There we go. And we have this one spliced up. This tongue jack is pretty easy to remove. All I'm going to do is pop this pin out of the bottom. The foot will fall out, and the whole jack will just slide off the top. On the new jack, we're going to take the same pin out. The new jack's just really nice, and the folks over at Etrailer actually make these. And we're going to take this, slide it in. Just like that. We'll take our 3 bolts and washers. It's crazy that some of the longest parts of an install might be aligning bolts in holes that are already there. Okay, now we're going to tighten them. All right, now we're going to cut the wires right here down to size. Strip the ends off. Here we go. We'll go ahead and do our hot connection first. Sorry for that creepy windmill noise. It's actually not connected to anything. We have an electric pump now, so that just spins and looks like it's a functioning windmill. Even though it is functioning, it's just not actually connected right now. All right. Those are now connected. I'm going to heat shrink them. Turn that up a little bit. All right, so that is now done. Actually, we just need to kind of wrap everything up with zip ties, but again, I'll finish this one. Put the leg back in. Okay, legs back in, and light works. Let me back up a little bit. All right, so the light comes on, turns off, and the jack works perfectly. It's a bit slow, but most of these things are. There's only a few brands that are like super fast. This one's certainly not one of them, but it's not as painfully slow as the other one, and the whole motor housing isn't jerking back and forth whenever we're trying to use it. But the folks over at Etrailer produced one heck of a really nice tongue jack that's super affordable. This is like half the price of most electric tongue jacks. So you get a tremendous value. And I love the fact that the bottom foot down there is adjustable, so you can drop it down and raise it up so you don't have to sit here and hold the button the entire time. When you get it relatively close to the ground, or just whenever you're unhitching, you can put that foot at its lowest level while you're still hitched up, and then simply lower it down when you need to lower it down. Let me try to do something here. So you might want to see this part. Again, super quiet, very smooth, and we had the whole thing done in less than 6 minutes. The entire process here done in less than 6 minutes. I would argue to say, if you're a little bit smoother with putting the bolts in, you could probably get this thing done in less than 5 minutes. All I need to do now is tape up the wires right here and then zip tie them to the post right here, the shaft, and I'm in good shape. Anyways, just wanting to share this little process with you because this is an upgrade that almost anybody can do with their RV or their trailer. And really all you need to do is, again, hitch it up to your vehicle so you get all the weight off of the bottom of it. So you have the ability, of course, to remove it and slide it out of the top hole here and then align it the way you want. Some people like to take the head assembly right here and rotate it a different way because it helps give you a little bit of extra clearance whenever you are trying to lower your tailgate. But again, for the price of this, you really can't beat it. And I know these washers are too large. They were the washers that were kind of already on here, and the amount of weight on this trailer is never going to make that be a problem. But yeah, really cool setup. Very affordable. I'll throw a link in the description of this video. This is an upgrade that most people can do on their RV, and it's a really good feel-good upgrade because it gives you a light, it gives you an electric tongue jack, and it's affordable. So you check all those boxes. And one final thing is the fact that you get this really cool Etrailer tongue jack cover with it. So just slides on. You got these little ties right here to tighten it in place and protect your tongue jack a little bit longer than if it was just exposed to UV light all of the time, plus all the rain and snow and everything else that might hit it depending on where you're at. That said, that's it. We'll put a link in the description of this video if this is something you may be interested in. Big shout out to the folks over at Etrailer for really coming up with their own really innovative products at absolutely affordable price points backed by phenomenal customer service. Guys, check it out. Link in the description. If you haven't had a chance, please take a moment, subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up, and we'll talk to you again very soon.